All right, welcome, welcome. We're super excited to have you all on here tonight. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to show up with us fun people. So, anyway, we're excited to have you all on tonight. You guys, it's the end of April, Thursday, last day of the month. Are you close to earning special promotions or prizes this month? Maybe in your unit or with Mary Kay, Rise and Radiate. Sorry. Anything can happen in 3.5 days, you guys. We can do great things. How can you finish April well? I want you to ask yourself that question after you get off the call tonight. Can you share maybe with 3 more people this month? Maybe share the Mary Kay opportunity with some of your favorite clients. Maybe you can book 8 parties to hold 5 by Mary Kay's birthday on May the 12th to honor Mary Kay Ash. We're almost 2 weeks away from Mary Kay's birthday, so that would give you time to book 8 to hold 5. Do you know where you are for the seminar year? How about the Princess Court of Sales? Like 22,500. What about Princess Court of Sharing? Are you gonna hit that 12 before the end of the seminar year? What about the Queen's Court of Sales or the Queen's Court of Sharing, or maybe being the queen in your Mary Kay team? You have time. Also, do you know where your unit is? Do you know what the unit goal is? I think it's really, really powerful when people take ownership of what their team is doing, because it's not just the Allison Carter show or the Susie Moeller show. We are the Janice Shrunk show. We have our teams. It's a team effort. We all win when we're crossing the finish line to this circle of achievement, circle of excellence. And so know this, God's goals for you and Mary Kay they're usually attached to other people's salvation. You don't know what will happen. There are people that have come to know the Lord because of Mary Kay. There are people that have found their husband because of Mary Kay. There are people that have a kidney. They found a kidney because of Mary Kay. Is that so? Okay. So please don't hesitate in setting goals. Okay. Our goals represent lives impacted. So do you have a goal for the end of April, for the last few days, and do you have a goal for the month of May? All right. As far as any announcements, you guys, there's a price increase coming in the month of May. And so if you haven't seen that information yet, it's a good time to really stock up on your Mary Kay products, because you can be buying low and selling at that new rate, and you're going to have an increased profit margin. That's smart business. Seriously. So know that. Susie, Allison, are there any other announcements that I'm missing out on? Because I feel like I've been a little out of the loop lately. All
Not that
right.
I can think of.
Sounds good. Well, we'll go ahead and go to recognizing our top 3. I'm just really excited because what a fun group. Okay, so in the number 3 position this week with 846 points from the Susie Moeller unit, Lisa Brooks. Woohoo! Yay, Lisa. Lisa, if you want to, it's up to you if you want to come on screen. So I noticed that you had facials. You had almost $300 in sales this week.
Yep.
That is at an almost star level, Lisa. I want to tell you, I am so proud of your growth, because I feel like even since we have been meeting together, I've just seen you grow. I've seen your confidence grow. And so, do you want to tell us what is one thing that you think you did great this last week? And what is one thing you would like to improve upon going forward?
Well, the one thing was the customer appreciation sale, buy one, get one half off. That took off like a wildfire. I mean, I'm almost out of inventory. Like I told you before the meeting was recorded, I was at the laundromat in Farmington, that has poker machines, and my friend is a bartender there because they have to serve alcohol in order to have poker machines. And she wanted to try something. So I ran home, which is just basically down the road and up the hill, and got all the ones that she wanted to try. And I gave her lipstick samples. I gave her the eyeshadow sticks, the samples that I have for that, the brow tint and the um, brow stick, brow, I don't know. It's not eyeliner, but it's brow liner. That and she bought, and then when I went back to give her more samples yesterday, she bought, and on Saturday there was four others in there, so I just let him sample it all, and three of the five bought, and two of the five bought more yesterday.
Wow. That is exciting. Lisa, you are entrepreneurial. You're willing to do the work, sister. And I love how you're getting yourself out there. Congratulations on a great week and being in our top three.
Thank you.
Fabulous job. Okay, next we have in our number two position this week with 1,424 points from the Susie Moeller unit. Look, Rise sisters from the Strunk unit, the Moeller unit's taken over. I mean, you better look out. They're going to have a clean sweep here pretty soon. Susie Moeller unit, Allison Liebarger. Is Allison with us tonight?
She just texted me about 15 minutes ago, and I put it in the chat. I'm sorry.
That's
She
okay.
has surgery tomorrow morning.
Oh,
And I talked to her earlier today. She was planning on getting on because she was so excited. She told me I'll share something for her. But she literally just texted me and said, I found out I have to be at the hospital at 6. So her dad is staying with her and just a lot of things.
all
But
good.
here's what she said. She knew she has this hand surgery scheduled, so she's going to be out of commission for a bit. So she said she was intentional on working last week, and she remembered the phrase, work when you can, so when you can't, it works for you. And so she had a party. Here's another thing. And she thought the party, I think this was last week, she thought the party was at one location, and it was actually, she thought it was at the lady's work, and it was actually at the lady's house. So she got there 20 minutes late, and she was very upset. And she said, I remember the phrase, you can do everything wrong with the right attitude. And she had a great party. And she said they even told her they want to do a party twice a year. One of them told her it was the best Mary Kay party she's ever been to. So I'm bragging for her. I'm sure she wishes she could be on. Um, and I know we're not supposed to get recognition unless you're on, so sorry
Okay.
about that.
It's okay.
But yeah.
What I noticed from her points that it was so well-rounded. She had such a well-rounded week. She had almost $400 in sales. She was working full circle. She did parties, she did facials, she did interviews, she did bookings. You guys, when you're getting points in the categories, you are going to be building momentum in your business, and it's so powerful. So, yay. If you're watching the replay, Allison, great job, lady. We are so proud of you. Now, this week, number one for our unit, and I see she's on here. I hope that she's listening because we're going to need her to unmute. Number one this week with 1,734 points from the Janice Strunk unit, Des Prockish. Woohoo! Des, we're going to have you on mute, sister. So you guys, I am so super proud of Des. She has been, sometimes it's hard because you're like not doing things consistently, but you know what? She and I have been connecting, and she's been connecting more with me. And I feel like she's been really working on being more consistent in her business. And it is showing up. She had a party with some ladies from her church this week, and she had $734 in sales. And so, daytime party, rocking it out, Miss Des. And so, Des, tell us a little bit about what you feel like you did great this week.
Um, uh, I was more relaxed doing it with these ladies. I know them well and everything, but they all had such a great time and they do want to do it again later. And they were so excited about all the. We started out with just a regular moisturizing facial stuff, but we ended up doing color at the end because they were all just um they just loved it. I don't know, it made me feel good. I'm still on cloud nine because I felt good about them and just them loving it and everything. So yeah,
Very good.
that's that's about it.
They paid you a special compliment
Yes.
also. What
Yeah.
was that? Tell me about that compliment. Go ahead and tell everyone what they told you, and because I know that that really also made you feel really special.
They said they'd never had a Mary Kay party. They've all had Mary Kay before, but they've never had a party like what I did, which made it, I just was relaxed and I kind of just let them ask questions and they all complimented me on how much fun they had and how good their skin felt. And they were all excited. So it makes me feel good. So
I love that. And so you sold two Time Wise repair sets at that party, right?
yes. Yep.
Okay. So when you sell two Time Wise repair sets, friends, that's like a $450 in sales. And so um, Des is working on being part of the Century Club and getting 100 skincare customers in the next year. And so if anyone would like that tracking sheet, it's only 8 new skincare customers a month. Who could do that? Who wants to do that? When you do that, you have a solid business. You have solid business going forward. You guys, the last week when I was not feeling well, I got seriously, I was laying in bed and I got a message from one of my clients. She bought a Time Wise repair set. She's been my client for probably 20 years. Okay. So reorder, reorder, reorder when I can't, when I worked when I could. And I spent an hour with she and her family, and she's still purchasing from me 20 years later. So praise God for relationships and a great opportunity. All right. Well, ladies, we're going to go ahead and get started early with some training from a top sales director in Mary Kay. And she couldn't be on with us live because her meeting is at the same time. But I'm excited to share this with you. Okay. So if you want to turn your screen off, that might help everything sync up and it might help it stream. But if you can't, don't worry about it because it'll all be good. Okay. All right, let's see if I remember all of the technology hacks here. And by the way, I can see Teresa. Teresa, if you can't hear the audio for some reason, I want you to wave your hand like this. If you can hear the audio, I want you to give me a thumbs up. We haven't started yet, okay? All right, sounds good. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Ashley Clinesmith. I'm a future executive senior sales director with Mary Kay, and I've been building my business for almost 27 years this summer. You know, I had a conversation with Janet, and you guys, you have some of the most incredible sales directors in all of Mary Kay. You're so lucky to have the tag team of Janet, Allison, and Susie. And Allison, I don't know if you remember the story, but we were in Rome together, actually in Florence, on the top sales director trip. And two things I remember, I loved hearing about your family and how you operate, but we were standing in line to see the David statue. And we got to visiting, and then we were shopping in the square, and I found this really cool swing coat. It was kind of camel colored, and I was trying it on, and I was really having a hard time making a decision. And you said, do you really have to decide if you want to buy a piece of clothing from Florence? Just get it. It looks great on you, but take it home and tell people, oh, this thing, I got it in Florence. And so I've always done that. I did recently finally give it away. But you guys, I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about following the money trail when it comes to sales. So we have this opportunity when we're team building. You know, we can earn bonuses when our team members become qualified. We can earn free product if we're a brand new consultant and we're building our team. As a sales director, as a team builder, we know that there are different bonuses applied to different things that we do in our unit. And I wanted to have a system set up where I'm following the money trail in the sales category as well. And it happened one day. I was sitting in my dentist office and I thought to myself, I come here every 6 months. Like clockwork, I get my teeth cleaned. He just shows up and he's like, who's on the schedule for today, right? I wanted to have a business like that where I opened my books, I had appointments, and my customers wanted to book with me.
Oh,
They
get off me,
wanted
cat.
to come back and be here. And so I want to share with you some of the systems that I set up. And this might all be new information, overwhelming, maybe a little bit. So what I want you to do is take one idea and run with it, just one idea. And a lot of these came from either it was a Holy Spirit download or it came from a shopping experience that I had with a place that I thought it brings me joy to do business with this place. I love shopping here for this program or these reasons. And one thing that's not in my notes, so I'm going to throw this out right now. But I will circle back and talk a little bit about my Christmas open house. A game changer for me. At my Christmas open house, my customers get a discount. They get 10% off when they come at their scheduled time slot. So it's not actually open. It's not an open house. It is a book your appointment, come and get your 10% off. They get that same amount in a gift card in January because I wanted to come, like once we enter Christmas and holiday mode, from basically Christmas to New Year, I want to open my date book on January 2nd and see it full of appointments. And the people that came to my Christmas open house just a short 2 months ago are coming back in to spend their gift cards. So if they spend $100 at my open house, they get $10 off that day and they get a $10 gift card to use at the open. I call it a new year, new you makeover. Well, I have an idea I got this year from Amy Dobbs that I'm very excited about. If they pre-order their gifts to come pick up at the Christmas open house, they're going to get a little something extra. I'm not quite sure what that is, but she has really great luck with that. So the first thing I want to show you is I made some cards at Vistaprint, and I have one for every month. Now, you guys, this started years ago. I created coupons for every month, January through December, and they were not cute. They were like on a piece of paper and I cut them up and I just throw one in the reorder bag. So I went on Vistaprint and I made these, and I just realized today, because it does not say Mary Kay, but there are Mary Kay products on it. So this may not be legal, but since it's a clip art that's available, we're going to run with it. But this one in particular, I just like to talk about my specials when they spend $50 or more. So when they click on this, it actually takes them to my private Facebook page. They have to request to be added, and then that picture pops up and they get to see the specials. They also are joining my private page. I have one coupon is when they buy their favorite fragrance, they get a $10 gift card to use next month. December, I always have buy a new to you item that you've never used before at 50% off. So I throw these in their reorder bags the month before it or the month of, and they get to use that gift card. So this is them following up with me. Another card that looks very similar to that. I wanted to generate some sales in the beginning of the month. So you can it's backwards, but I fill in the blank. So this is $10 off a $35 order or more. And then it actually it doubles when they bring it to a facial, have a facial with me. So it's $20 off an order of 35 or more. They have to follow up on this, but I'll fill in the month. So right now, April is going in my March reorder bags. And this is one way that I generate sales on a monthly basis. And you may not put those in every reorder bag, but I want them to try new products, fall in love with them, get on more products. This one here, this is a $100 punch card. And this is one where they get this when they come to an event. And so we're in March. If they come to an event in March, they have the entire calendar year from March to March to earn $100 in free product from me. They have to come to 4 of my panels. And so I let them know when they'll be held, and then they kind of have to put them in their calendar and make an effort. But they put their name on here. They put the date of the first one. And I put this in my office. I keep it Because how many times have you gotten a punch card and you have every intention of using it, and then you switch purses and you find it 10 years later and you go, oh, I wanted to use that. So I will send out reminders and say, hey, you can use your punch at this upcoming event if you would like to come. Here's the magic sauce on this. I have a lot of customers that will come to 2 or 3 in a year, don't get their 4th. And then I have 3 customers who, this is a big deal. They will come to multiple events, and they're also in my top 10 purchasing customers. So to give $100 is not a big deal. It's $25 for each event they come to, but they don't get any other discounts at those events. So they have to know that you're going to get your punch or the discount. So your punch or your birthday discount. Now, speaking of birthdays, March, right now, when I'm recording this video, our April guest event, those people have already received an invitation to me to a birthday invite, and they get to come pick out a gift. I have a basket of jewelry and previous products that we don't have anymore, and then, or they can choose from a new product item, but I pick what it is, and it's usually under $20, but they get to pick that when they come to that event. So they don't also get a punch on that day. Important to point out. I also created a $25 gift card. This goes in all of my gifts. So if somebody purchases a gift for someone else, this is typically my Christmas open house. And after I created this, I realized there's nothing on it that says my contact info. So I actually double-sided tape, put my business card on there so it makes it thicker. But it's a $25 gift card that's redeemable at a facial on a set of your choice. So they have to come have a facial and they have to purchase a set for this to work. I have had somebody call me one time and she's like, I have $150 gift cards. I want to spend it with you right now. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. Therefore, you're going to have to come see me 5 times to be able to use those, or 6 times, I guess that would be. So, but let's talk about redeeming the first one. She had gathered them from a family gathering where someone purchased gifts for all of her family members. This one probably takes quite a bit of explanation, but you can create this however you'd like to do it. About 20 years ago, I started I'm sorry, I was getting a phone call. About 20 years ago, I started a subscription service. When a customer of mine said, I watch you when new products come out, you bring your little basket or your big basket and you meet with me, and then you meet with Holly, and then you meet with Sarah, and then you meet with so-and-so. And sometimes we can all get together at the same time at a guest event, but often you're holding like 25 separate appointments where we're talking about all of these products. And you're selling the same thing to all of us because it's the thing that you like. So what if you just put together things that you like, mailed them to us, and charged us for them? And I was like, okay. So laying the groundwork took some communication, and you start maybe with 5 customers and say, hey, I get access to the new products early. And if you're enrolled in the preferred customer program or you're a star consultant, you get to order products 5 days early on the 10th of the month. So that is true. If you're CDSing these products to your customers, they're getting them before consultants even have an opportunity to get their hands on them, and they're not on the website yet. So it's like, it's a sneak peek, right? So that was my husband calling. He's telling me he's going to buy bacon. Okay, now all the world knows. We have a butcher close by. He said, I couldn't help myself. I have to go get bacon. Okay, so that was a great commercial. So I call this my diva bag. I reached out to my favorite customers and I said, hey, I'm going to try something. It's a subscription service. It's going to be a discount for you. This will be the price. This is the value. And so currently the price of my diva bag is $30. It's $50-ish in product, and it includes samples. Now, if I get those brought in and I'm delivering them, I can do quite a bit more than if I'm mailing them out, because if you're thinking about the postage, if you're sending it CDS, it's $6. If you're mailing it from your home or from the post office, it's going to be about the same. It'll be $4 or $5. Now, the After Sun Gel was an option in my last diva bag, and it's very heavy. So it by itself can cost like $8. But what I will do is I'll say, okay, the diva bag's going out. It's going to be 2 or 3 new products and a couple samples. and you get to choose what that is, but it's my favorite things. So when you get it, if you don't love it, let me know and we'll play and we'll switch and we'll trade and do something different. So I always ask them if they're going to be running low on anything in the next 6 weeks. And then we can add that to the box. Now, here's the cool thing. A lot of my customers will tack on an extra $100 in products because they're ordering pretty consistently 4 times a year when these new products come out. And then that discount I'm giving on the Diva bag is kind of a wash. So this has been astronomically successful. It helps me get to star in about 1 day. And like I said, you can decide how you want to run that. I have found, there's a hair, so sorry, there's a hair. I have found that more than 45 customers makes it a pretty big undertaking, but that's a really great sweet spot to build to. So you might start with 10 and then grow to 20 the next quarter and then grow to 30. And I just stick these in my reorder bags, and sometimes my customers will randomly sign up. And they're signed up until they tell me otherwise. And it says that here, that they're giving me, authorizing me to either charge their card or send a Venmo request. And so they can at any point say, hey, I want to opt out for a little bit or take a break. Okay, now I want to talk to you about how I have $10,000 to $12,000 in sales in 1 day for my Christmas extravaganza. It is an open house, but I call it an extravaganza so they don't think it's a come and go. This has morphed over the years. Beginning August 1st, they get Diva Bucks in their reorders. So if they spend $50, I add a 0 and they get 500 Diva Bucks because this is Monopoly money. And it says on here, it's an advertisement. Text the word sparkle to my phone number to RSVP. And then I have a response to that. They get to pick a time on my calendar. It's always the Thursday before Thanksgiving, the Thursday before. Here's why. I apologize again. There is a hair. Okay. I'm gonna keep rubbing my nose if I don't fix it. Okay. So we're good. So the Thursday before, what I have found is that from the week of Thanksgiving on till about Valentine's Day, people lose their minds. They're not in the same brain space. They're on vacation. They're on holiday. And now if you're working with men, they can shop all the way up until Christmas. But if you can help your customers solidify a chunk of her gift giving before Thanksgiving, she will love you. So I've tried it different ways. I've tried it on the weekend. Thursday works best for me. And I kind of stack them up, but I have virtual appointments on Mondays and Fridays. So I have customers that live in multiple states that we actually do this over video. And I have gifts wrapped up. I show them different price points, and they pre-order or they order, and then I package it up and mail it out. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they can come in person. Now, I was going to say something about the virtual appointments. Oh, okay. So how do you wrap up your gifts without having to unwrap everything at the end and put it back on your shelf? So I got this idea from Jordan Hulu Iker. Let me grab my lookbook. I go through the lookbook, and I on the pages, I will write names next to products that I want to give as gifts. So my mother-in-law loves the bronzer. I'd probably give her like 5 because she wants to stock up on it until the end of time. And so you're going to come in and maybe put skincare, somebody's going to get fragrance. So you're figuring out who you want to gift Mary Kay, and that order goes in and you get it and you wrap everything up with tags that are very easily removable. So that's your display. And so I like to have $10 items, $20 items, skincare put together, but I like to have like 4 categories. And then I don't want to overwhelm people, but I want to give them a couple options in each category. So we get it all wrapped up, and then I sell out of that basket, and then I either replace my family member's gift or I get them something different entirely. Okay, so Diva Bucks. So what I do, you keep track. It has all the details here about the Christmas open house, that they get 10% off when they schedule their time. So you can go to your customer report and you can pull up between August 1st and the end of October. And I just print that off and I see how much my customers have spent in that amount of time. And whatever it is, I add a 0. Okay, so what are they spending their Diva bucks on? You guys, you know how all year long we're opening like new products to test? Well, once we're not testing those anymore, this goes into my Diva Bucks box. So it could be products that you overordered. It could be testers that are sanitary. Obviously, if somebody's like used it, we can't put it in there, but these testers are all sanitary. So all of that stuff goes in there. What's fun is your customers are like, I really, really loved that product and you don't have it to sell anymore, but I noticed that you had a tester and I'm gonna use my Diva Bucks to buy it. And so like when we changed eyeshadows this year, all the eye colors that went away, they could buy those with their Diva Bucks. It was 1,000 Diva Bucks for one eyeshadow. When we have tester perfumes, or if maybe I opened 3 on accident and cream to powders. So it's a really easy way to move products that you don't know what to do with. And it's not only testers, it's also new full size. I accidentally ordered like 35 of those compacts that had the 6 eyeshadows in them last year. It was an accident. And so those will go in my Diva Bucks this year. That's what they spend it on. And so then before they come to the appointment, I confirm with them that the time slot that they picked or that we agreed upon, that they can still come. And I say, who are you shopping for? And then they tell me, well, my daughters or my aunt or my coworker or my roommate. Okay, and what's your budget? And they tell me, and I say, what's she like? And so when she comes, I have that next to her name. And so let's say roommate doesn't use any makeup and the budget's $20. Okay, so we're going to talk about satin lips, which is a little above the budget, but I also might talk about hand cream or the Footsie Roll. So I'm going to say, this is an idea I have for her roommate. And I'm going to help her with the decision fatigue because there's so many options. She's seeing so many neat things. And then I go, what do you think about the Footsie Roll for her? That's an option. Okay, so we set that aside. And then I help her shop. Now, this is something you could do really any time of the year. I've considered doing this like April timeframe because people have graduations and Mother's Day and Father's Day and weddings and those types of things. So I've considered doing Diva Bucks from January to March also. You could really pick any time frame to do something like this if you wanted to have one big customer appreciation event a year. So all of these things, what it has done is, in addition to, let me add one more thing. I love Monica's specials that she does. When a customer spends $50 or more, she gets to purchase one of those items at half price. So the way that I use that program is I don't show them the flyer at the appointment or when they've purchased. I wait 2 weeks and I follow up and I send them the flyer over text or email and I say, hey, you qualified for an item for every $50 purchase. Is there anything you see here you can't live without? So it's an opportunity to follow up additional purchases. And then your customers that love this program are going to place the orders through the program. So I want these 3 things, and then I want this at half price. I would say only 2% of my customer orders do that. Everybody else just orders what they need, and then I follow up. But I do have a handful who love the idea of the 50% off. They scour over it every month, and they plan their purchases. So take one of these ideas. Figure out how you like to be serviced. What is one way that you like to shop? And institute that for your customers. And I just hope and pray, covering you with prayer, that you have your best sales year ever.
All right. Ladies, I hope that you will share. I'm just making sure that I close that window out, so it doesn't start playing another wacky video. So anyway, like it did that one time on me. One of the things that I appreciated was just her viewpoint when she is looking at other people's, like how other people are booking appointments, like the dentist, and how other people are scheduling things. That gave me an idea on Okay, wait a minute. When I do an appointment with every client should be getting booked for another appointment. If I've only done one appointment with her, then I'm booking her follow-up facial. If I've already done the follow-up facial, I'm going to book her 3-month appointment or her 6-month appointment, just like the dentist. Why are we not doing that? It should be that regular process. So that was the first thing that on my heart, or that like landed on my heart. What do y'all think?
I thought she had a lot of great stuff. I loved how she prefaced it with take one idea because that could be overwhelming. So I'm telling people like me, deep breathe. You don't have to do all her stuff. But I kind of like you, Jana. I have to keep my stuff super, super simple, but I loved at the beginning when she said, imagine the feeling of waking up to a full day book. I love doing appointments. I love when I know what I'm going to do. It's the overthinking. And so, what you just said, Janet, with what she said, not just having a system, and I heard that as a new consultant, book someone every quarter for the season change. Um, but I wrote down a question for myself. How could I incentivize them to book me? Because that would be for me waking up to a full day book. So whether it's the foundation matching or my mother-daughter portfolio, I loved a lot of her tricks were for them to reach out to her. And so
Yeah.
whether I use hers or not, I loved her concept.
I agree. And I love that Susie, did you all hear that? Susie just took, like, we took this much. Because honestly, when I was listening, I was like, okay, this is a lot. I'm overwhelmed. By by the way, Ashley is always like in the top 10 or something, top 20 for sure in her seminar and sales. And there's a reason why. She's really great at that. And some of you are going to be really great at different type of things. But yeah, just taking what is going to fit in for you. By the way, I've always dreamed of doing like, oh, I want to do a mascara of the mascara club. You know, they buy 3 throughout the year and they get the 4th one for free. Girlfriend can't track it. I mean, I, I don't do it for a reason. Know who you are and tweak something else. All right, anybody else?
One of the things I like that she said that I've heard before, and this is like a two points here. The first one is when you have a lot of information like that, when you hear something you've heard before, sometimes that's like, my director has told me about that like many times, like maybe, and you hear other people are doing it, like that might be a good place to start if you're not totally sure what to do, instead of having to always like reinvent or create something new or whatever. But I'm with the two of you. I like it very simple. But one of the things that I found is very helpful is that they get the discount when they show up. And so it's not this crazy trying to change your website to match the discount for everybody. And like you got people ordering online and they're like, I didn't get my discount. And you're like, I've made mistakes that way. And so, the open house thing or even the event, even in your parties, if you're going to say like, everybody gets 10% or the hostess gets a special extra 10% when you book and hold it on the original day or something like that, to help confirm your appointments. So it's taking an idea and maybe tweaking it a little bit to make sense for your brain. But then you got it simple. There's nothing to track, if it's on the original day, however you're doing it, however you're promoting it. But I really liked you get to come in, you get your discount when you show up, and then you get to spend the coupon in January to be redeemed in January. So then in January, you have those appointments. Excuse me. So thinking along those lines of where can you take them next? You know what I mean?
I liked that January appointment too, because that's a proactive way to book it and just say, oh yes, guess what? You have another. So I thought that was really cool. So, and I do that with open houses too. like I schedule appointments because I had open houses and I had a cute house and I had great treats and nobody showed up. So I've learned the hard way. So anyway, all right,
And
ladies.
you guys, just on that note too, Jana, because I have a lot of my customers are in Orlando, and so a holiday open house is very hard for me because a lot of my people are out of town. So I do a virtual appointment. So when they show up virtually, they can get the discount. You know what I mean? So you can modify it. It doesn't have to be everybody local, but they get, and you can do your open house in a different way than having somebody come to your home. But you could modify that for every appointment. You get a special discount or you get a little mini gift or something extra special when you are live. So
I love that too. I love the virtual appointment. When she said that she did those virtual things and she showed them everything. So good. All right. Ladies, we're going to go ahead and go into our breakout rooms. So if you have questions, you can definitely ask in there. Let me make sure. Are they open? No, they're not. Open the rooms, Jana. And so thank you all for coming on here tonight. We will see you in the breakout rooms. I'm going to stop the recording.